Hi, this is Lucy and welcome to the Lake House. For those that recognise this, I've tried to copy the Lake House from the film The Lake House. Yes, I know it's a terrible time travel movie. If this is something that you are interested in, please stay tuned. So I have turned Lauren into a brunette in an attempt to make her look like Sandra Bullock, and I failed miserably, I think, but there we go. So I had to take some artistic license with it. The basic layout is the same, although I did find a floor plan of the house. There are some things I've had to change. We have the time travelling mailbox. This is Jack, who is named after Jack in the movie. I do have a workshop here. I had to put it somewhere, and the camp area ends sort of here, so I didn't have a lot of space. That was my second lot of Super Mutants in 4 minutes. So in the movie, these are actually railings, but we do not have, they were quite decorative. It almost looked Art Nouveau, the metalwork in this, and it was all this green colour, which is why I used this green roof to sort of echo that colour. Obviously I can't make any of the metalwork of that colour. So we have this sort of front porch. There is a lot of glass. I have used the Tikki set for some of the internal walls because there was a bathroom. And I've just put it on this side to mirror the other. The bathroom is 1.5, so I couldn't get a door in, but so I put a curtain up. This is the bathroom. Should really put some more decoration in here, shouldn't I? Could have done with some plants, I think. You never see the bathroom in the movie. In fact, you don't actually see a lot of the interior of the house. You did see the bedroom area. On the floor plan, the beds were going in that direction, but you do briefly see Keanu Reeves standing about here. There was sort of a blind, vertical blind almost here, which I couldn't replicate, so I put a half wall in. Obviously, we have curtains in a lot of places, because who wants to live in a goldfish bowl? They do, apparently. On the floor plan, the kitchen only included this side, but there is a shot of Sandra Bullock when she is packing up to move out at the beginning of the film. That gets even more confusing, but hey. She is standing here in front of the sink looking at, yes, there is a tree in the middle of this cut-out greenhouse area. Later on in the movie, which predates, because it's in Keanu Reeves' timeline, which is 2 years earlier, he is standing here at a sink. So either this house had 2 sinks, or they just, you know, continuity error. But I have everything I need in here. We have a dining area. We have a deck. Again, the decks, I don't know on the floor plan. They're here. In the movie, it looks like there's one on the side. I just don't know. Sitting room area. Now, this should have been square. If I made it 1 square, it wasn't big enough. The house wasn't big enough. If I made it 4 square, then it was too big and I wouldn't have fitted everything. I'm literally on the right at the edge of the camp boundary with these external walls. Now, one of the things that I really wanted was the tree. Now, I appreciate that there is a bit of treeage sticking through, but if you try it with any, I've tried it with all of the trees. Some of the smaller trees are actually bushier, so this in the end was the one I decided on. I wondered how on earth I was going to get a tree underwater, because the base of this is on the ground. So I googled it, and lo and behold, a couple of days before, Moonlight Cowboy put a video out about how to make trees float since the update. So I will put a link down below for that video. The one thing I will say is because I have the patience, I don't have any patience. I know you all think I'm really patient. I'm really not. I'm just incredibly stubborn. So I'm really bad at watching other videos, especially if they're long. So I kind of skimmed through the first half of the video and I tried to do it and I couldn't get it to work. But he had said if you watch further on, he will go through it step by step. And he said you might need to do it 20 or 30 times. I have produced 4 of these blueprints and they've all worked first time for me. So I must just be lucky, I guess. But I will talk about it briefly when we build the house. I added these as well just so that I could get here without having to swim. The one thing I wasn't 100% happy about was because I started with a foundation that was this far out of the water, all of my pillars, especially around here, were floating. And because of this not visible business, I couldn't snap another pillar underneath. So I had to free place some short pillars underneath. They're kind of overlapping. But we could get around that by maybe lowering it a bit further. I don't know. You might then have a problem with the staircase intersecting with the floats. We can experiment. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. There was a lot of jiggery-pokery with floors, with half floors, to get everything in. But, yeah, it certainly is something. And I even bought a copy of the movie for you so I could re-watch it to make sure I had everything as accurate as I could. Anyway, I'm really dreading this one. Let's get on with the build. If you don't know where we are on the map, I will show you. We are at Twin Lakes. We're not at the lake at the spawn point. There is another lake further down, closer to Huntersville. White Spring is here and Vault 76 is up here. So I said I was dreading doing this build, and yeah, everything has been a problem. The problem is this, is that the camp depth is pretty much the entire width or depth of the camp build area. This causes all sorts of problems. The other thing was that I lowered the pillars. The first time I did this, everything went fine, and then when I came to do the bridge was clipping at this rock and would not go through. So I redid the video. I even edited most of that video before I thought, no, I can't do this. I moved it too far this way. So I think now, this is, as I said, take 3. Got all the problems sorted out. I really hope so. It's always difficult when you've got a big camp and you're sort of incorporating things like water. I can't place my camp widget under the water. This is where I've placed it. Originally I placed it here on the furthest part, so I am making the camp area slightly shorter, but I need that little bit of left to get past that rock. So I'm going to, if you can see where the widest part is, I think it's because of the water. The water distorts the camp circle. I So where the camp widget is at the moment, I'm going to leave it there, is the widest part because it's a circle. It does annoy me that we have a circle, yet we're building it in basically in square tiles. So I'm going to have to move myself first of all because I'm going to be in the way. We are going to measure where we want things to go. So I'm going to start with the foundation. And I'm going to line it up so that this edge is slightly, it's because it's going to be, the bridge will be in the middle between these two foundations. So I need to move this to the left a bit. Now, when I originally did this, I did it so that the foundation was above the water, which meant that the pillars were floating, and I want to do something different this time. I want the pillars to actually be just on the surface of the water because of this visible business. So I think the only way to do this is just to try it and see. We're going to do a few measurements. So grab a wall and we're going to put 2 floors down. I'm using these floors, I'm going to be using different floors to show you the build area, because when you have all these halves and quarters and you can't actually see the floor plan very easily. So this is just at the moment for measurement purposes, but we will hopefully so the bridge will be in the middle between these two pieces, and the easiest way to do this is with some pillars. Need to find the middle point. Can't do a middle point on a full foundation this way, but what I can do is do this. That will give me a middle point. And then hopefully I can, come on, turn around. Turn that around, there we go. And the bridge was 3. So this fits in this direction. What we also need to test is whether or not we can get all the floors on going in the other direction for the balcony. We are quite close. I think we might be alright. I'm going to add the railings, the wall railings for the balcony. Another problem I had on the last one was getting the pillars on the corner. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. If you want them on the corners, they will go on the corners. This was one of the problems I had because the camp was too far to the left. So I will do that again later. I just wanted to measure it. We can carry on adding the rest of the floors. So we have this kind of zebra effect. This mesh here is where the downstairs will go, where the tree goes, the kind of interior greenhouse. Two full floors, 2 halves, 2 full floors, 2 halves. Front, 2 full floors, 2 halves, 2 full floors. I'll be leaving the front till the end because you probably didn't notice I did some jiggery pokery here. There is a lot of jiggery pokery in this build, I'm afraid. Right, we need to add another one here and another one here and another one here and another one here. Oh, that one didn't snap. And then half floors to meet these ones. I am actually going to make the wood grain go vertically so that it matches the halves. Because some of the halves are going in different directions, you're never going to get them all the right way. There is a trick that you can do. I will show you at the end. We can substitute some of the halves for quarters, but for the main house it is going to be much easier if these are all going, the wood grain is going in the same direction, because we will be replacing these blonde wood tiles with these tiles. We now need to add 2 on this side, but we're going to be offsetting them, and they should just go, although apparently they want to go in the wrong direction. Let's see if I can get that one to go the other way. And the reason we're doing all this is so that we can put walls, because there are places where I'm going to be overlapping walls, but for some situations where it's going to encroach into the living area, you can't overlap them. So just make sure that they are in the middle. If you have a problem with it, you could always put a half floor here and then snap these on and take the half floor off. So this is the floor plan for the majority of the house. Now, the front deck you might not have noticed. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to do what I did earlier, just grab a half. Could have left that up really, but I thought it was confusing without an explanation. We are going to put a column here, and we are going to turn this 90 degrees, and we're going to place 3. And then we're going to put a column here. We might have to take this out, depends. I don't think the floor will snap on the other side. No. The one problem, I have enemies come from here, but there also seems to be a random enemy spawn over here, is that when they're under the water, you can't shoot them. You have to wait for them to come out or get a melee weapon out. I'm going to get up here. Hopefully my turrets will take care of them. Right, we need to temporarily move that out of the way so we can get a full floor in. And just snap that in the middle. Ooh, it's just, I didn't think to add that. It's just fitting. Yeah, be careful of this. Should have added that into the test run. Actually, no, we're okay. We're okay. Take your pillar off. Because that is not where that's going. We're going to be putting, this will be the landing here. That one can come off. And then we can put our middle one back in. Go back in. Right. That is fine. It's perfect. We've got a bit of treeage. And we can get rid of these pillars. Now, the thing I realised was that if I had this, I was not going to get a wall railing on here. So what I did was... I've had a horrible week. Right. I put an extra one in here. Now, you can't see all these joins when you're using the base floor set because they all look like they line up. You can see it now, but I bet you didn't notice it. You are a bad dog! What did you break? We broke the wall, that's fine. I can see you. I think we're finished. Good God. Right. So this is the final floor pattern, and as you can see, it only just fits in the camp area, but we have done it. It is fine. So now we are going to add walls. I pretty much used the greenhouse set for this. You could, if you don't have this one, or if you prefer it, you could use the rustic greenhouse. Now, the reason I left these floors in here is if they're not there and you place these walls on, you get these gaps. You can only pull them in so that they fit properly if you have floors here. So we will take them out at the end when we do the steps down. And we need a doorway here, like so. Because I don't actually really like the bottom parts, I did actually use a lot of halves. It's up to you. If you don't mind it, then just use the full walls. Oh, there's more. But this whole thing is so that you can get walls in. But as I said, we will be overlapping, and the overlapping parts I'm going to leave until I've got all the regular walls on. Go in. Right. At the back we had a sliding door, and the way I did that was very easy. Just take this floor and move it out by half. Add 2, that's the first door. Pull this back. Take this one out. Pull it back. Now you will notice that the ends here are only a quarter, but we can overlap like that. So you do have this overlap on this wall, but I don't think it's really noticeable. We now have our sliding door to the back balcony. Now the front. I had a door in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this floor down. You can take this one out if it makes it easier to see, so that it's in the middle. And I am going to place a doorway in the middle. And there is some overlapping here. That one won't overlap. This one will. Now make sure when you do this, I'm going to move this floor up and then up again so that the edge of it is on the edge of the door, because we don't want it to overlap the door. If it overlaps the door, it will block the doorway. Make sure when you do this that they are overlapping and in the same position. They will overlap and be in the same place. We're not double walling. We'll do the same over this side. We'll just move this down so that it's at the edge of the doorway. I'm actually doing this the wrong way, I think. We want it to match the other side, so start on the left side, because the overlap one will become the Tikki one for the bathroom, just to give you a bit of privacy on the toilet. Apparently I have never-ending walls. Fill in the gaps with your floors, make sure that they're all lined up properly. Hopefully that's the last of the wolves. It hasn't been this bad. So we've got all of that done. We are going to finish off this area to support the roof. This was more or less an enclosed porch. Although there were only short walls on the front, I did put them up to the ceiling on the sides. We had walls all the way down here. One at the end. And that is most of your walls. I'll put there are half walls that go on top of here, but I need to put the roofs on first. You will see why. I use the green roof. I'm going to start off with it in the upright position. So that when I flatten it, it will be in a slightly higher position. It does annoy me how a lot of the roofs actually intersect with the walls. So go along from that corner and place all of the roofs. You might end up with a couple being lower because they're snapping to the walls, but try and snap them. You'll be able to see at the end if you've got any lower. Now, obviously there is a gap. We will fix that. That one wants to go lower. Lift it up. Come round here. Check for gap for ones that are lower. I think... Oh, something here. Yeah, you can see here it's lower. Lift these up. Oh! Oh yeah, it's this one. This one was the problem. And this one. You don't have to bother with this. It's just pedantry on my part. To get this gap filled, we are going to go back to the beginning, place one upright, lower it, then place another one so that it overlaps there. We can attach another one to that one. And then do the same on this side. Place one upright, flatten it. Fill in that gap there. And we can take that one out, because we will be doing something with this in a minute. Right, obviously the front is 2.5 wide. So we want one on this side, one on this side, and one in the middle. I'm going to temporarily take these two off. And because this door is facing inwards, we need it in the upright position that way. And we can lower it. And then put one on the middle. And take the back one off. We need to temporarily make this a full wall. And we can add one add a roof and lower it again. Move this over here, repeat that step. So that is that roof. We can put the roofs back. Trouble, I always forget I'm in replace. We can line these roofs up with this one again. And that is pretty much all of this part of the build finished. We need to put a roof on the greenhouse. I did raise this slightly, so half walls all the way around. Top wall arches. Oh, these are the rustic greenhouse ones. I don't know where I've got those. I think I was experimenting. Roofs. Glass roofs. Now for pillars. Now, you have a choice and it is completely up to you. You can, well, you can't put them here because of the intersect business again. It drives me crazy. You can, if you want, just put them. They will snap in the middle. What they won't snap to is the corners. So if you're feeling a bit lazy and you've had a crap week, you can just put them around like that. Or if you do want them on the corners, just grab, you can free place them or just grab a half floor, because they're snapping into the middle of the half floor. You can put as many as you want. I mean, I went a bit crazy with the pillars. I put them in all the corners as well. So just go around and place them where you want. don't know if we'll get the half floor over the edge of this. Oh, yep, it's going on this side. If you want them on these corners, you might have to oh no, we're fine. If they don't fit, you might have to free place them, is what I'm trying to say badly. So yeah, as many or as few as you want. I'm not going to bother really with any more. I think you've seen enough of that. Although I kind of feel that I have to put one on that corner just so that when I look at the front of the house it doesn't look like it's floating. You may not be able to put your house in exactly the same position as me. I don't know. We obviously had a problem with these because it's too low, but you can probably put some more supports. It is, see, it won't go on that side. You want it symmetrical if nothing else. We might be able to use short ones here. And just hope that they're not right. Yep, for the don't know if that's floating or not. So you might be able to use short pillars on the bridge so it doesn't look like it's floating. Can't get one in there. Wherever. Try and make them symmetrical. I think it looks better. But so that is all done. For this area, I free placed the steps. I don't know if I can get rid of that tree, but it's fine. If you're absolutely determined to snap steps on here, if you feel you can't free place items, then what you can do, I mean, it might also depend on the height, because I'm having a problem here, whereas this is not something I had a problem with before. I tend to find it's easier to place stuff near and then kind of fine tune it. If you absolutely want to snap steps on here, still not straight. Snap a foundation in there attached to that wall. You can then snap the steps, take the foundation out, replace the upper floor. I also put some Pavilion walls in to support that landing. So just go around and put these underneath, and they will go under the steps, although for some reason the steps don't like going over them, which is why I did them afterwards. So a couple of things we need to finish off. We need to do the bathroom. Now the bathroom was 1.5. Just going to move this out of the way, and this. I'm going to put that one in there, and then this one that way round, so we get this 1.5 length. Take the Tikki wall, it's in the wrong place, go back. Go where I want you to go. There we go. And then one here. Now the reason I did it 1.5 was because I wanted it to match this half wall. So just make this one Tikki wall. Like so. That's right. We can move this back now. this one and put this one here. These can be a pain because they want to go every way but the way you want them. Make sure you haven't got any holes. And as I said, I used a curtain here. You can overlap a doorway in here, but this wall will go halfway through the doorway and you will not be able to use it. This overlapping wall, I also made a tiki wall just to sort of balance out the front. And I also added a half tiki wall here for the bedroom area. We can do this underneath here. We don't actually need the wall, so it can come off. We can take these upper floors out, the mesh ones. Because this was lower than the way I did mine, I'm trying to get it to snap to there. There we go, snapped. I'm going to leave that foundation there. I'm going to grab one of these floats and I'm going to line it up with the foundation. With the cleats on the outside. Obviously, I'm kind of going to rush a bit now. Well, try. As soon as I say that, it will all go wrong. Put that one on there, take that one off, place another one. For the tree, I will link Moonlight Cowboy's video down below. I tried all of the trees, and ironically the very smallest was too small, as was the next one. The middle one was too bushy. It was bushier than this one. Now I think the problem he had was placing it. Now what I found was that obviously it looks red, but there are certain areas where, because it's very lumpy here, if it's clipping into the ground, it will go green. Once it's green, pick it up by the bottom, by the planter. Now go into free place mode and we're going to slide it under the floats. Now you will probably want to rotate it or move it slightly so you have less treeage. It's completely up to you. Don't need that one. Last thing is the workshop. I lined it up, I think I lined it up with the bridge. Obviously these walls, well, go into snap, these walls are facing inwards, so do that. Half and a half. We can grab a pavilion wall, or any wall if you don't have that set. I mean, it would look great with the tiki. We could make it in glass. It is completely up to you. Snap a wall. Now that wall will be the wrong way round actually. So add another, move this floor out here. And snap the wall. It's difficult to tell which side is which with these. There we go, it's on the inside. So that when we snap a foundation, it will snap on this side. I use the Tikki foundations. They are quite close to the ground. You could just use upper floors if you want as well, they're that low. Obviously my camp was a little bit higher. I lowered this one so that the pillars would meet the water. Then just go around with your walls. Going to add roofs. And that is the workshop. I'm going to turn all of these floors to the base floor. And you will see it all come together, hopefully. So I miscalculated with the way the floors were going. I thought that the floors were going the correct way. They weren't. If you have this situation where these don't match, you can either completely ignore it, or anywhere where it doesn't match, just take them out and replace them with quarters. Obviously the blonde would, and these ones, the grain doesn't go in the same direction, and I thought it did. I think the problem is you have this band in the middle that they can be a bit tricky. Especially, I'm just going to move it a bit closer to me. No, that didn't work. I got one floating in midair. So that is how you fix that. I think pretty much all of them are wrong, but you know, whatever. Can't believe I got all the way to the end and then the floors are going in the wrong direction. But it is fixable. It's fixable if you want it. I think I'm done. I think I am done. You see what I mean? You can't see that there are quarters and halves and all the other things. Although there's going to be a lot of quarters if you do the floors in the same direction I did. For doors, I pretty much used these glass doors. This is the West Virginia family. So I think it's the bowling alley door. I think I actually bought that prefab purely so I could have a glass door that would actually fit. I have the Slocum Joe one, but if you don't know, there is a gap at the top. Doesn't seem to fit very well, even though it will snap. So, but there are lots of other doors you could use, whatever you fancy. One more floor to change, you can do that. So it was quite a Herculean task. It has taken me 3 videos and I got the floors backwards right at the end. I'm not redoing it. I'm not doing this video 4 times. I'm done. It doesn't matter if you use halves or quarters, it's just aesthetics. Once you've actually got the layout, I've got the door going the wrong way. Once you've got the layout, you're not going to worry about it afterwards. So overall, I actually really love this camp. I'm not a huge fan of the movie. I mean, I like... Who doesn't like Keanu Reeves? I mean, come on. I like Keanu Reeves. I like Sandra Bullock. And but from a science point of view, the time travel was just dreadful. But it's a cute little rom-com. Well, it's not even a rom-com. I suppose it's a... But it's a cute little romancy thing if you like those kind of things. I don't often. So, it's been a tough week. I've had a lot going on this week, and the cats are fighting, and I've got in the middle, and I got bitten. So, yeah. Who wants a couple of geriatric cats? Let me know in the comments. I do have a couple of other builds on the go, but I think I'm actually going to do some shorts for a few weeks to rebuild my building techniques library, because a lot of that is now sort of redundant. Some of it is, and there's also some new things we can do, so I'm going to do some shorts, but I do have a couple of other builds on the go. And obviously Christmas is coming, and I kind of have a loose idea about what I want to do for Christmas this year, but we'll see. I might completely change my mind in the next few weeks. So, if you have any comments or questions, please post them down below. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.